Greg Vincent here, founder of the Property Marketing Academy, where I teach real estate agents and property owners how to market your property more effectively so that you can achieve the maximum price out there in the market and avoid underselling. I don't know if you've done this yourself recently, but if you go onto Google and type in how to present your home for sale, you'll find there's thousands and thousands of tips out there about presenting your home for sale, and a lot of it's based around putting in fresh flowers, having candles burning in the bathroom, having the background music playing, and trying to build a certain ambience within the home. But the more that I understand and delve into this whole internet and marketing and the online consumer behaviour, the more I'm starting to realise that there's some key ingredients that are actually missing out of those how to present your home for sale tips. You see, I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in trying to understand the online space more effectively and internet marketing specifically. But also I've delved into the marketing and trying to understand more about how to market property more effectively as well. And what I found is that now that I'm actually back in the front line, we've implemented a lot of these strategies and tools into the marketplace, and our clients have been getting some incredible results. Even though the market's really strong at the moment, we've been able to go out there and get our clients an extra 20, 30, 50, and even at times in excess of $100,000 more than what other agents have quoted. So this key ingredients is something that is really missing out there in the marketplace, and it's something that I think that it's this whole old world versus new world of real estate nowadays. You see, back in the old world, a lot of it was around how to present your home for sale. But in the new world, it's more about how to market your property more effectively. And that's why I put together this first impression framework. And when I talk about this first impression, one of the things that I always look at is that movie Jerry Maguire, where Tom Cruise came in to try to apologise to Renee Zellweger, and he's rattling on, and Renee turns around and says, "Stop it, you had me at hello." And this is the important part from a marketing point of view, is to make sure that you have people at hello as well. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about with this first impression framework and the 4 first impression fundamentals, because there's a lot of people who are losing people at hello. When they see your property on the internet, you've got to make sure that they're in a position where you're grabbing people's attention, and whether it be on the internet or even if it's in the paper with newspaper advertising, it's got to be done in a particular way as well. So this is why I put together this framework, and the first component of this framework is the image. Now, when you're getting the photos taken for your property, it's important to make sure that you understand that the image, when you're using images in your marketing, the image actually catches people's eye. It's the first thing they notice. So it's really important to make sure that when you're getting your photos taken, that you select the best photo that you possibly can to catch people's eye. It really, really is important. They say the picture paints 1,000 words, but our minds work in pictures, and images are so important. And having those images, that the first image that you use is what they call the hero shot. And it's really important that your agent goes through and talks you through which they feel is going to be the best photo, the best angle that depicts your home and grabs people's, catches their eye, grabs their attention. So that's the first part of this framework. The second part is, in your advertising, the headline. The headline is the part that grabs people's attention. The image catches their eye, but the headline actually grabs their attention. When you think about a newspaper and the headline on a newspaper, if they went out there every day with a newspaper and said, here's today's news, and then the next day, here's today's news, and the next day, here's today's news, after about 3 or 4 days, people would stop buying the newspaper. It needs to have a catchy headline. And it's the same thing with your property. It's really important that you have a catchy headline that grabs their attention. And then the third part is the text. Now, the copywriting that's done for your property is absolutely critical, because the image catches their eye, the headline grabs their attention, but it's the text that actually makes the sale. What you put in there on your description of your property needs to be based around not so much just the features, because when you're selling any product, it's not the features that actually sells the product, it's the benefits that that product actually provides is the reason why people buy it. So your copy needs to be based around describing some of the features, but also making sure that it instills benefits and why people should look at buying your home as opposed to someone else's home. So really, really important to understand that good copy and good copywriting is a real art form. There are people that get paid thousands and thousands of dollars for just one good copy for a web sales page or whatever. So it's a really, really important part of the whole marketing, is making sure that you get your copywriting done properly. So that's a skill that I've learned over these past few years. It's been it's just something that just continues to develop as you're going along. But the text is absolutely vital. And then there's a fourth part, and this is something that I think it's new to the real estate space, and it's something that a lot of agents haven't actually delved into as yet. But it really is a vitally important part, and that is video. You see, using video allows you to, it brings the home to life, and it allows you to provide a bit more context around the property. You see, when you're advertising a home for sale, if you take a photo of the view from somewhere down the street, it must actually show on the image that it's taken from a different location, or it's not actually taken from the home. Technically, you can't even show a image that doesn't come from the actual property, whereas with a video, you can go out and you can actually take shots of what it's like down at the park down the road, or the shops around the corner and the cafes and all those different things, and tell a story about what it's like to live there. So your video is an absolutely vital part of building the perceived value of a home, but also giving people a little bit more of a context of what it's like to be there, to live in that particular home. So I see these four fundamentals are absolutely critical parts of building that first impression when you're marketing your home. So one of the things that I am seeing, and probably the biggest mistakes that I'm seeing in all four of these categories, is that with the image, I'm seeing a number of agents who are still not using professional photography, and poor photos really don't do anything to build that first impression. They say that you never get a second chance at making a first impression. So it's vitally important that you have professional photography. The other thing that I would look at with your headline, I'm seeing some pretty boring headlines out there that agents just aren't taking much time or putting much thought process into the actual headline. One of the things that we actually do is online we have a catchy headline, but also in our print media advertising, we actually, in the headline, we put a website address for the property. So if it's, say, 16 Town Street, well, we put in 16townstreet.com into the headline, and that drives people from our offline media onto that dedicated website for the property. It's something that I'll talk to you more about in another video, but that's how we use the headline in print. But then in the online space, we make sure that it's a catchy headline. Then when we look at the text, one of the things with text, I'm seeing a lot of agents who are just using bullet points. Now, bullet points are based on features. Now, if you're using bullet points in print, I can understand why you're doing that, because that's what we do, and then try to direct them across to a website for more information. But when you're just doing bullet points in the online space, you've got unlimited information that you can provide in the online space, so why wouldn't you tell a bit of a story? So it's okay to put some bullet points there, but sell the home and the benefits of being in that home within your text, because that's the part that makes the sale. So, and then the other thing in the video side of it, one of the things I am seeing as well is that a lot of agents are using these animated photo slideshows. They're putting some background music to the photos that are already appearing on the internet, and it's frustrating people. People are looking at those animated slideshows and it takes forever to slide through an image, whereas on the internet they can just go click, 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 and they can see all the images. So if you're doing them, stop it. They're just not effective part of an effective use of video. Video really should be there to build context and showcase the home and the area. And one of the things I would look at also doing from an agent's point of view is get out of the house. Don't just do a video of the house. Do a video of what it's like to live in that community. That's the important part of using video, because it gives you that opportunity to do that outside of the property. So that's just a couple of tips around the mistakes that are being made and some of the things you could do to fix it. So in finishing up, probably the first thing I would look at doing is go online for yourself and just flick through the paper, flick through the internet, just have a look and see how these 4 things actually impact your first impression of a property. And it's amazing how you'll actually look at a property and you will discount a property from even being considered to inspect based upon these 4 things that you see. And no matter how well presented your home is, no matter how beautiful that bunch of flowers are, no matter how gorgeous the bathroom looks with those candles all lit up, and how beautiful that cake smells in the oven, if the people aren't inspecting your home, they have no idea what that's like. They will not actually be in your home to experience that. So the important part is, let's get this part right first, and then hopefully that will then convert them to an inspection, and then the way you present your home can make it stand out and hopefully help them to move forward to purchase the home. So I hope you found that helpful. This is a really, really important framework that I see that a lot of agents really need to look at investigating further, and it's something I'll share a lot more information about as we go forward. So thanks again for watching, and if you've got any questions or need any assistance, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me. All right, I'll catch up with you soon. We'll see you in the next episode. See you then.